Karen here. What does the hat say? Vote for me, and I mean it. Wherever I am, vote for me. Whether I'm with the Democrats or I continue on as an independent. As of right now, I am an independent in my presidency. All I have to do is write my name on the ballot. I really appreciate that. I think I'm going to start wearing this hat more often. If anyone wants a hat, you can always contact me with the P.O. Box 855, and you'll be able to send me a request form, ask for me, and I'll ship a hat out to you. And remember, people, please donate. I'm up against billionaires, maybe even trillionaires, for all we know. Today, I want to ask you all, how was your Memorial Day? How was the weekend? Did you all have family together and jubilee? Laughing, joking, eating lots of good food, being with friends and family. Hopefully you all stayed safe, and I want to keep it that way. So drive safely, everybody. Everybody, okay? In Connecticut we have several different accidents, and they weren't very good accidents. So wherever you are, everybody, drive safely. Today was a good day. I spent some time with my significant other, and it was a good day. Got her work done, saw my friend at a rehab center, and she's doing better. What happened was, it was on Monday, Labor Day. No, stand correctly, Memorial Day. And I found out where my friend was hospitalized. She has no advocate. A good friend who's a nurse can't get out of the house well. And the daughter isn't very helpful. So I managed to find out where she is. I made some phone calls. I found out where she was. I went immediate to that location. She said she hated the C-Pac. It's a mask that goes over the face tightly, and it gives a burst of oxygen, and it has a certain rate. Everybody's respiratory rate changes, but this machine did not change. It was the same amount of forced air into her airways and lungs, and she was very uncomfortable, and she was in this hospital for 11 days. 11 days. She had no one to help her. She had no one to help her. I saw her, but I didn't know she went into the hospital. She went in the day after I saw her. She had no way of communicating with anybody. And they had her on this C-Pac. Now this C-Pac is a forced air mechanism where it puffs out air and you breathe. It forces the lungs to breathe, take in air. This piece of equipment is for those who are unconscious, almost dying, close to death. That's her sister. So I sat there next to her at her bedside, and they said that she was close to death. They was thinking of sending her to hospice care. Well, anyway, they took off the mask for me to talk to her. She was fine. No breathing difficulties, no congestion. She was jaundiced before before she was jaundice, when she had the C-Pac on her. It's a mask that goes over the face like this. And it's forced, and there's a little hole tubing, and it puffs, and it causes the lung to rise and come down. The expansion of the lungs. She didn't need that. When they took that mask off, I looked at her, the jaundice, which means it's the skin color is yellowish, and that does happen when you get older. And they took it off. She was breathing fine. She was coherent. She was conscious, alert, and oriented. Really? And she was just so uncomfortable. And while I was there, I talked to her. She said that they've had this back on me I was here for 11 days. She was fighting for them to discharge her to a local rehab center or to home. And I talked to the doctor. I yelled, got stern with him, like, why do you have this mask on his face? On her face? And he says, well, she's having trouble breathing. I don't think so. Look at her. Constantly, breathing's normal, no more jaundice. Her breathing rate was just fine. Her color was fine. She was coherent. So she told me that they were making her wear the C-Pac for a long time without a break. She was just as a bad person, a difficult patient. And she stands up for herself. She speaks out. And what's wrong with that? She doesn't get her thoughts spoken well, like everybody else. Because she's on a different level than everybody else. And if you have a patient that's that is not right, well, don't do bad things to her or anyone else. Don't cause anyone to die. They said she's going to go to hospice and she's going to die. Not when she had her mask off. And then she told me they were doing this to her. She complains that it goes around to, she's blackballed for other hospitals and nursing homes and rehab centers. So this hospital continued through with the treatment. I'm going to say something, and I hope everybody understands this. Listen to me. As I saw fit, it appeared to me that they were torturing her. A form of torture. Because she had that mask on, even though she told her she didn't need it. But they forced her to have it. So I got to the bottom of this. I talked to the doctor, told him. Well, he said to me, when we put her on a C-Pac, we'll lower the amount of force entering oxygen, entering into her lungs. I said, that'll be fine. Well, I said to him, she doesn't need to be on that. Remember, she's breathing just fine. You wait until she has difficulty breath, or her blood oxygen level drops, then you put her on a mask. Well, so I saw that. I talked to the doctor. I told him to contact me. And he was joking about it. How many times do I have to save people's lives? I saved my mother-in-law. I saved my mom from doctor's care. And then now, I saved my best friend from her doctor. He was laughing about it. And he listened to make me more comfortable. Right when I was there, she said she wanted to go to this rehab. And they're like, you're going to give her, we want to send you to hospice. And I told her, nope. And she said she wanted to go to a specific place. Do you realize that on Tuesday I went and saw her? They said they'll try to get her into a rehab center. I said, okay. She was, on Tuesday, yesterday, I spent a few hours with her talking and everything. And I wrote a letter up describing what the incident took place. And my professionalism, they weren't treating her very well, correctly. And they were not American doctors. How did they get their job? Where's their credentials? So I talked to her, I read the letter to her, what I wrote. Right now I have her put aside, and I'm trying to decide to give it to the administration, how more involved I want to get. So the people who are non-American are working in the medical field. Who's watching over them? How did they get into our medical field without being licensed, or have a certificate, or even have a medical degree or a medical diploma? This is the concern, people. This is a concern. Don't worry about, well, worry about it, but that was my site. So, today, Wednesday, she was moved to Shading, this other rehab center that she wanted to go to. If I didn't intervene, people, she would have died. They would have killed her. They tortured her. A form of torture is what I look at. Forcing a person to be uncomfortable with medical treatment. And they wouldn't listen to her. She was 11 days and that's C-Pac. And she didn't need to be. We're going to stand up to these medical people who I wonder are really legit. Well, she ended up in City Hall. I'm sure she'll do well there. What a relief. I worked hard for her. I haven't decided to go to the administration. I think I wrote to Warren and explain what took place. Let them know. And if it have to be, I can call the FBI. I can get involved, the chief of police in Waterbury, and get involved. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. Let everybody know what's going on. We have to protect our medicine. Well, that's what I've been doing. It's helping my friend Jeanne. Terrific lady. She was blackballed and then got mistreated, and she suffered as being tortured in my eyes. I know it sounds extreme, but it is torture. So I'm going to work on that. And each medical person, American medical, be prepared to have, I'm going to need your help and straighten out our medical, get a better system where they get an outlook. We can oversee these doctors and make sure what they're doing is correct. We gotta buckle down on these out of country doctors and others. I have no problem with that. I don't mind if ICE takes away a doctor and he's not a citizen. Let them go back to where they came from. That's as bad as like literally killing someone, because that's what they're doing, torturing her. She was trying to kill her. And I know this for another reason. I saw a relative of mine. He was a doctor at a hospital, American white doctor. He's a surgeon. He cared about his patients, and maybe he yelled too many times at people. But later in his career, they tried to kill him. And I know that for a fact. And that was a white American male surgeon. Had all credentials. They didn't like the way they were being treated by him. But he cared about his patients, and he stood up for his patients to make sure they got the proper medical care. That's what it's all about. It's not color. Behavior, yes. and let's take back our country. These medical doctors must be taken out of the position of doing medical treatment and they're not qualified. And do not accept the qualifications from another country. They don't have, no one has medicine like we do here in the States, in the United States. Mr. Trump, I have been trying to contact you several times. I can't get through. Mr. Trump sends me many messages. I want to answer them. And Mr. Trump, let's sit down and talk like you wanted to. You said you want to interview me and all. I think we should sit down and have a conversation. I want to go over to you what I just said now. And President Biden, yes, I'd like to have a meeting with you as well. And sit down and talk. Because we have Democrats, extremists, yes, and we have Republicans, extremists as well. Well, I'm an independent. Here's the Democrats, here's the Republicans, here's me, right in the middle. I know the differences in philosophies and ideas and thoughts. I know what's happening, which I just described to you. That has to come to an end. And President Trump, I have good things about the Democrats. Vote for me, Democrats. And I also have, I accept Mr. Trump's ideas and thoughts as well. So I like to see all of us meet in the middle and work together. We have the same similarities and desires and requests for all our people in this country. Thank you, people. I love you all. That's what Mr. Trump said to me. I love you, Karen. So that's a good thing. So he's willing to work with me and interact. And that's a good thing for us all. Peace, peace, peace. God bless to all. Bye.